Hi guys, welcome to episode 22 of Get Your Buzz On. I have a special guest,
Jessica Ortiz.
Yay! And I have known this girl for
Probably,
a long ass time.
7 years. We're going on 7 years
That's
this
crazy.
year.
I was like a dog when I met you. I like pissed my territory. I'm like, she's mine.
That's mine. Yeah, it's true.
We have a bottle of Segura Viduras. I don't know.
Okay, no, let me read it.
You know how to read Spanish.
Segura viudas.
And I'm Mexican. I'm 100% Mexican. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Ooh, we'll get this thing going. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, Joe, don't kill me.
It's okay. Despite all the craziness, I'm doing good.
Despite it all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to fill you up some more because that was weak. All right, so cheers, my dear.
Cheers. It's actually good. It's good.
I was like, well, I don't get crappy stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I'm like,
true.
you know how I
You
am. I
always
can be
get
a
the-
little-
You always get the good stuff. That's
like
true.
I'm a little extra.
And you always create the best events, everything.
We try.
So,
We try.
You always do. Yeah.
So
I
how have
like
you
it.
been? How's everything going with work?
Everything's good.
Tell
when-
everyone what you do or like what
Well,
has been your.
I've been a realtor for 7 years. I got in the business because I had a bunch of family members and friends from already 7 years ago that were in the business or they had been in the industry for a long time. At that time, I was still going to school. I was still going to UTEP, getting my degree in finance. I needed something. I was like, I need to start working, but I already had Julian. My baby was a year and months. So I was like, okay, I can't be working 40 hours a week somewhere and, go to school and be a mom and be a wife.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to get into real estate to have freedom. I was super wrong. And the availability of just doing whatever I wanted in my schedule. So I thought. And I ended up getting my license in a summer break from school.
Yeah.
So between the spring break and fall, I went, and that's how long ago I got my license. That was way before everybody started taking their classes online. I took all my classes at the Academy of Real Estate. I did it kind of old school.
Yeah.
6 weeks straight, Monday through Thursday. And then I went back to school. So I took my classes. That was the end of it. I went back to school because I had 2 more semesters to go. Went back. I pretty much put it aside.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, now I need to get serious. So in December, I was like, okay, I need to go study again. I took the test, passed it the first time, which for me was, I don't know why, but so many people told me you're not gonna pass it. You're gonna have such a hard time because the English is your second language. And I didn't pass it and so on and so on. So
Did you say, bitch, do you know who I am?
no, actually, when I was scared of taking the test. That's
Yeah.
really Ali. I was very afraid. I was like, okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna see how I do. So
Yeah.
I pretty much prepared for like a week because I had already postponed it for so long. Then I actually tried to move the date one more time, and they didn't let me. It's like, this is already the third time you move it. You can't move it anymore.
It's like,
Sorry.
now
Like it's on Monday, period. So I was like, okay. So then I just studied, and I went, took it. I passed it. I was so glad I did because at the end I was like, this is so long. I better pass it because if not, it was going to take me forever to go back. But I passed it, and then ever since I went and interviewed just one broker, which ended up being ERA.
Yeah.
And then I joined ERA. And I remember, so it was just so weird. It was completely different to the way it is now. They had another manager. It was Araceli.
Yeah.
And I just went to get the interview. Everybody was just like moving offices and stuff. And I don't know, I just joined. And then ever since, I just love it. I stayed there for pretty much my whole real estate career, 5
Yeah.
years. And then I say, okay, it's time to make a change, and then I finally transfer on my own to
So what's your company now? Or-
Pindrop Realty.
Oh, okay. All right. If anyone doesn't know, where is that at?
We are located on Westmoreland, right by the Science and Walmart, right here by Cielo Vista on 1155 Westmoreland, Suite 101.
So how has that transition been for you?
It was totally different than what I was expecting. Yes,
Yeah.
I know I was going to be independent. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but there's so much that comes with it. Now we have quite a few realtors. We have 9 realtors. We're about to have another one, a new one. So it's going to be a total of 10 agents. They're all new.
Yeah.
So that comes with a lot of, pretty much just working, teaching them everything I
Yeah.
have learned in 7 years.
Yeah.
Try to put them to speed. But it's just a lot of work. But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was already at that point that I was already on my own. I was just stuck pretty much. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get any higher.
Yeah.
So I just decided to go on my own.
Yeah. Just to try. Well, you got to challenge yourself too. You can't just stay the same all the time. 'Cause then
And I felt like I got with the company. I was already like at probably the highest. And then they just say, we hate to see you leave, but if you ever think about going somewhere else, I hope you keep us in mind. Like, we're the
Yeah.
first option. I learned everything with them. I love everybody there. But it was just time for me to pretty much go on my own and see how that was. And it's just been a lot.
Yeah.
It's just been a lot. It's been
Well,
a learning
you're learning
experience.
so much too. Like it's
Always.
It's
And then
constantly-
that's exactly how we met. Even since the very beginning, I probably had my real estate license for like a month.
Yeah, because you're with Calisa.
yes, I had Calesa Homes.
Calesa.
Yes. So, and then the way that just happened, it was just so weird. So my first headshots, my first business pictures that I still use, by the way, I need new ones. That photographer, I had met him in college, and then I just approached him and say, hey, can you take my headshots? He's like, yeah, sure. So then he's like, what are you getting headshots for? And I'm like, well, I just got my real estate license. And then he's like, well, I have a friend that he's a builder. It was just so random. And I'm like, oh, really? What's the name of the company? I didn't know anything about the real estate industry at all.
Yeah.
Anything about builders, nothing. So he's like, oh, his name's Calesa, and he builds like 12 houses a year or something like that. But he's custom. He's on the east side, and it's like he's looking for somebody to lease the houses, to lease the properties for him. And I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, well, just get me in contact with him, give him my info. And I just literally give him my cell phone number, my new email address that ARA had just created for me. And I said, just give me his contact. And that's pretty much how it happened. All of a sudden, the man called me. The owner, the builder, Mrs. Aldiva, called me. He's like, hey, so, Joe told me that you are a realtor now, and I'm looking for somebody to put my houses for sale. And then I literally was like, fake until you make it.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm part of the biggest company, in El Paso. They have 140 agents. And like, yes, I would love to meet, with you and my broker, getting a meeting. And it was just so random. So that was probably like on a Thursday. And he's like, okay, I'm available tomorrow morning. I was like, okay.
You're like, fine, we can do this.
Fine. I'm like, oh, and now I'm over here thinking, because I was still going to school. I was like, oh, but I have class. So I was just like, is there any chance that we can meet in the afternoon? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So then I approached Douglas, and then he was like, yeah, I'll meet you there. And it was just super casual at Starbucks. He ended up saying, yes, I have 10 houses, put them for sale. And that's how I kind of became the listing agent. And then I learned so much just being the listing agent. I was just pretty much a sales rep, everything.
Yeah.
And then the office, the builder's office just needed so much help too that I think I even learned more because I was doing way more than any realtor normally does. And I didn't know because I had no idea that wasn't part of what I was supposed to do. So I would take floor plans to the city, take them to like the plumber, the foreman, the architect. Like I was almost admin for the office, for the builder. And it was a year that I don't think I was a realtor. I was more like a sales rep.
Yeah.
But that's how we met. Because then I started doing the events and everything was with the guidance of Araceli. It's like, well, you need to do an open house. And I'm like, okay, how do you do an open house? So I literally learned so much in a matter of 4 5 months.
You did.
Because I dealt with a bunch of realtors and like too many things.
Yeah.
In a matter of like 5 months that I just had to learn. I just had to learn. I had the account and I just had to learn. And I think I did good, overall it went good. And then obviously we kind of broke up because that's just what happens with him. And after that, and then I just started, now I was a realtor. Then I started working on my business because I was a slave for the longest time of the model home. Yeah. And then after that, I just started, just working, actually being a realtor, doing resales and whatnot. And I just love it ever since. I still graduated from my finance degree. I got my finance degree. I knew I was not gonna just use it anymore, but I knew I just had to finish it. I'm almost done. I had 1 more semester to go, so that year it was just craziness. Had the builder going to school. I had my Julian, and I was just like going.
And he was a baby at that time.
He was a baby. He was still in diapers. So I was all over all the time, like I always been. So I guess I'm just used to it. I'm just used to it now. But that's why I learned so much, and that's how we met. Because you helped me with my first open house and realtor tours, and you pretty much did everything, the marketing, everything. You like literally taught me how to do it, and I think ever since then we clicked.
Yeah,
we just
I was
clicked.
like, I love this bitch. She's so
And
cool.
I don't even know how we clicked because at the time I literally like spoke like no English. I was just like,
but you know
passing by.
And then I don't speak Spanish. Maybe that's why it works.
Maybe somehow we made it work.
Because you know what? Betta was like that too when I first met her.
Betta Berceño?
Yeah. Her and I were besties. So she was like, Spanish was her first language. And at first it was like I remember one time we were playing poker and I had gotten annoyed because she's really good at poker and she was like showing me how to play. And so she was like, do this, do that. And then she was like, why did you stop your game or whatever? And I was like, well, don't call me stupid. And I said, you called me a stupid. And she goes, no, Victoria, it's 2 pairs. And I was like, oh my God. So I always remember that because I was like, don't call me a stupid. And she's like, it's 2 pairs. No, so that's why I think we just clicked really well.
Yeah, you were very used to it. You already knew. But I think since
But genuinely, you were always so sweet. You were just like, just help me out. What do I need? And I think that like you were just very honest with everything. I don't think.
I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you help me? Can you help me?
You weren't like this uptight bitch or anything. You were just like, hey, listen, like this is what's going on. Let's like.
I don't think I'm an uptight.
No, you are.
I don't think
you're
so.
Like so sweet.
I don't think so.
If someone can't get along with you, then I'm sorry, but like you're really sweet. So, but we just clicked from there. It was like a perfect relationship, and then you're stuck with my ass.
Ever since it just like worked out. And then, I mean, obviously, if I have any questions regarding my insurance, I always am like, Victoria, this client have this situation, and for everything, I think I can call you, and you know everything about everything. So you're like my plug. Like, let me just call Victoria.
Let's ask.
Let me know. Let me find out something that like for everything. But ever since then, like we just click.
And then the good part with you starting with that though is I feel like it's like when you learn how to swim, sometimes it's better just to get thrown in and you figure it out as you go. Because I think that if you would have started any other way, you wouldn't have gotten all that experience?
And I really don't know what would had happened. Like I think that just made me learn so much in such a more short amount of time. It was just like 5 months. 5 months probably that it was just me the whole time. And then I got the team, which I'm glad they put me with Sylvia Agüero, which I love her.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, she taught me so much. And then I just, after that, I mean, I'm still friends with her. I haven't seen her in a while, but I mean, everything I know, I learned a lot from Sylvia. Mm-hmm.
So she was like your mentor.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, they pretty much put her because I needed an experienced agent to check everything.
Yeah.
And they put me with her. It's like, she's part of your team, but, she's going to be the one that is going to be helping you with everything. So for any questions for the longest time, probably for like 2 years, I will always call her. I will always call her, I'm dealing with this, or this is what's going on. And I mean, I think I learned to do things right because I haven't had any issues. Not cool.
You're like,
Neither I want to have any issues, in my real estate career. And I don't know, I just learned from her, and I mean, I've been doing real estate ever since. I just love it.
Now you've been killing it, so you're doing something right.
I struggle with keeping myself accountable and organized because I just have like my personal life, my fitness life because I barely got back to the gym, and then the baby, and then it just is hard. So I know I can be doing way more in my real estate career, and if I was just more organized. Yeah,
it's hard though. With a lot of salespeople, I'm the same way too. I'm really I'm all over the place, but I feel like, I guess that's just how our personalities are. Because I've noticed some of our best salespeople, and I'm including myself here too, that they're just not good with paperwork or not good with all that stuff. And I think because we're just ready to get the next deal going, or we've always got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yes, but I'm a nerd though, so I am super good with everything, and I guess that's what I'm failing. I need to delegate.
Yeah.
I need to let people help me. Yes. Because they don't know what they're doing.
Well,
so
that,
then I end up doing it.
If you hire someone, you don't know how it's going to work out. That's the biggest pain. Anyone that runs a business, that's the biggest pain in the ass, is people. Because let me tell you.
It is.
You'll spend so much time training. And then, what people don't realize is when you're running a business, and you know this, that every time you call in sick, okay, well then it changes your day because you're going to have to fill into all the stuff, like if you made appointments or if you need to send in contracts or if you need to do this. Now you're going to be the one doing it. Oh, if they end up quitting, then you have to not only do all that stuff, then you have to hire somebody and then train someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I did that. I deal with that a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, if my nanny misses one day, that completely transmits everything. Is if I had appointments, you pretty much ruin my whole day with that.
Yeah.
So maybe when my baby's a little bit older, I think I'm gonna have that time, just flexibility to do way more in real estate. Right now I'm trying to balance as much as I can, being at home and working, and I'm fine, just the way it is right now. But I have big goals. And I just need to keep myself accountable pretty much. That's all I need to do because I know I can do way more better. I get so many referrals. Thank you. Thank you to all my clients and my friends that always support my business. Even, despite the fact that I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I don't have a family and friends. I don't have immediate family or my friends that probably you do that you grew up with. I wish I had that circle of influence in my life, with the people that I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school. I don't have none of that here.
Yeah.
But if I did, I'm I can only imagine how many referrals I will get because I don't have that. So all the business that I get and, the referrals that I get is from people that I literally just met at a model home that I did good and then refer me and so on and so on. But it hasn't been from somebody that I grew up with.
But that speaks volumes of you because they're like, hey, we really like the way you did that. Can you help us out with buying a home and stuff? So that's awesome. And then now you're probably on the second phase where they're wanting to get a bigger house or they're wanting to sell.
Yes, I'm starting to see this. This is the first year that I start getting recycling my clients pretty much. Now they're like, hey, now I want to sell. So for all those clients that I help on my first year, second year, now I'm helping them selling the house. Now they're thinking about selling, upgrading. So now I'm at that phase that I'm getting more listings because for the longest time I've been just a buyer's agent. I just like buyers. Now I'm transitioning because all those buyers that I have helped now are calling me because they need to sell.
So with everything going on, if people don't know, you have, how old's your son? 7 now?
7.
Seven, and then you've got a little baby, 1 year old.
15 months.
Oh my gosh. So how are you balancing it all out?
I am not. I am not. I'm doing my best, but you have a nanny. I have a nanny.
Well, and then wait. I will preface this too because you were moving to a house that you guys remodeled. You broke your leg.
Yes. That not a lot of people know.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of people know that I broke my leg.
Yeah. Fill everyone in because I was like, this bitch is crazy, and you were still hanging up Christmas decorations, and so I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, I'm done with this year is just done.
Yeah, you were telling me like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm still trying to balance doing everything. So when I broke my leg, it was right before Christmas. No, it was actually right before my Julian's party. It was his 7th birthday party. And the night before, that's when I broke it. So I had the party scheduled at 1 in the afternoon, and I had surgery the night before on Friday. Like at 10, that's when I got out of the surgery room because I ended up getting a plate and 2 screws. So it was a major surgery. The whole time, I don't know why, I was just like, whatever you need to do. Like, there's no stopping it. I was just like, fine. When the doctor I was so positive when I broke it, and my sister's like, does it hurt you? And I just started crying, just like a little girl. I just started crying. I'm like, yes, it hurts me so bad. And it's like, you think you broke it? I'm like, no, don't even say that. Like, don't even say that. Like, I know, I just sprained it. Yeah, it just hurts really bad. So I dragged myself to the bed, and I sit down, and my sister's like, it's because it looks really bad. And I'm like, no, it's just swollen. Like, I'm like, I just hurt it really bad. Like, that's it. And it's like, no, it kind of looks broken. And it's like, try to move it. And I'm like, I'm not even going to try to move it. It's like, so what you want to do? It was like 5 in the morning. I was getting ready to work out.
Oh my God.
So I just rushed upstairs to go get the baby a bottle in the dark, and I slept through the steps. And that's just how I broke it. It was just so simple. Such a simple fall that I was like, damn, I'm getting closer to my 30s because I just broke a bone, like 2 bones, just falling like that. It's just super cheesy. Like, I would think it was like a novela fall.
Yeah.
And then I just, bam, broke it. So then after that, just my sister's like, what you want to do? Like, you want to go here? You want to go there? I was still very hopeful and positive that it was just hurt. Like, I just hurt my foot, whatever. So she drives me, it's like, where you want to go? And the closest hospital to me is Del Sol. It was like, do you want me to go to Del Sol? And I'm like, no, like, it's not broken. Just take me to Juarez. I told her, just take me to Juarez. And because my mom's a nurse, she's already retired, and she knows like a lot of doctors, and I trust her. But she wouldn't pick up. It was 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we were calling and calling and calling. Nothing. No answer. So then I called one of my mom's doctor friends. I called her and it's like, hey, Ligia, I'm sorry to bother you. It's so early. But she picked up right away. She picked up the phone. It was 6 in the morning. I could hear that she was already like going somewhere. She didn't even know who I was. Aww. She was the nicest. She didn't know. It's like, my mom, it's Miss Mata. And, I think maybe, but my sister kept saying, yes, you broke it. I'm like, maybe I broke my foot. Is there any way that I can, just go? So go with you, go to your clinic and check. And it's like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, just come here. We were like super close by. I stopped by. And it's like, I got down. I was just jumping everywhere. Obviously, I didn't have crutches, anything. So I just put on a sock, and I was just jumping everywhere, holding on my sister. And I sit down and it's like, yeah, it's broken. I'm like, then I started just crying, just like a little girl, because I'm like, I have so many things to do. You know, it's Julian's birthday tomorrow, and I'm over here like the baby, like she's about to start walking. It was just like, I was just so emotional.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was a mess. When he finally told me, yeah, it's broken. And I'm like, I just started crying just like a little girl, because I'm like, I have so many things going on in it. Tomorrow is my son's party.
Yeah.
It was just a mess. But I'm glad actually I went to J-Town. Because here I heard that you wouldn't get, like, I would have not get surgery in possibly, like, probably like 2 months or
God,
3
no.
weeks or something like that. And I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. I think it's an emergency and you get surgery and that's
Yeah.
it. It's like, no, they would just stabilize it and then they'll schedule your surgery in like 2 weeks. So over there, it was just the same
Bam,
day.
bam.
Yeah, the same day. I got surgery the same day. I got released the next morning, literally 8 hours after surgery.
Oh my
Because the
God.
specialist was like, okay, I'm like, are you going to release me? I just kept bugging him. Are you going to release me? Are you going to release me? Like, it's my son's party right now at noon. It was my son's party at noon. So he was so nice, because that's just how the doctors are over there. And, you know, so approachable.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, I'm going to send you a WhatsApp when I'm on my way. So he WhatsApped me like 7 in the morning. It's like, I'm on my way. You know, I'm just going to see that you're doing fine, that you're able to stand on your own with the crutches. He's like, and I'm going to take you crutches. He was just so nice. And he showed up and he's like, are you doing okay? Are you in pain? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
I got this. Like, I'll deal with my new life. He's like, okay. And he released me at 7. Came here, got super ready super quick, and then I went to the party. And 2 of my friends were like, you should just cancel it and postpone it. And I was just like, no, like, it's already paid.
Yeah.
Julian was super excited.
I know. That's something on your.
Then I was just like, if I postpone it, my poor baby. I was like, no. And then I had already invited friends from his school. I don't have the parents' phone number, so I was just like, I'm just gonna have it.
Yeah.
Period. So I ended up going straight from surgery to the party.
Oh my God.
And it actually went good. And then after that, I rested that weekend. And then I think I started showing houses like on Tuesday. It was a struggle for 30 months. Because first I was driving. I'm glad it was my left foot, because I was still able to drive.
Oh yeah.
And go anywhere, you know, without having to Uber or asking people for a ride. I was just on crutches everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would just get the crutches, drive, put them on the passenger side, get them, get down. Like, I would go anywhere on crutches. But it was hard. It was tough. And then one of my friends is like, hey, well, my mom has like a little car for her, a walker. It's just a walker, one of the old people pushes. Like, he's like, you can have it, you know, she doesn't use it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. And that's what I got. That's how I went around everywhere. Because I still went to the mall. I still went to the mall with a broken leg. I still did. And I still show houses and decorated the Christmas tree, like you were saying, in my car.
You remodeled
So
the house.
yeah, I remodeled the house. We're almost done with the remodel. Gosh, it took us so long, but we were right at the very end.
Yeah.
And I needed to go to the house, so I was just still going the crutches, and then I would take the car everywhere. I would take the little walker, get it down, put my knee, and just use it literally, like, just pretty much I was skateboarding everywhere. And then I figured it out. I was like, the baby was like 5-6 months, so I would sit her down and then just like go everywhere, just go everywhere with her. She loved it. She would just hold on tight, like, yeah, we're going for a ride.
You are crazy.
And that's how we'll go everywhere. I'll go to the mall and I would just sit her down, hang the diaper bag, and we'd just go around like, I got this, baby. Yeah.
You are crazy.
I was like, that's why with the new agents that I have, or, you know, employees and every new hire, I'm like, oh, it just bothers me so much when they miss the day for silly things, or they need to reschedule, or because I'm like, I've been in like right straight out of surgery, and I still will show up if I already had that commitment. I guess I just don't know how to cancel. I don't like to cancel.
I am too. If I make plans, like, I'm pretty much have to be dead If
Yes.
like I make plans, like if I set up meetings or I do that stuff, that's me saying I'm going to guarantee that I'm there. So come hell or high water, I'm always.
And that's
Hence this today.
Yes.
Like my car stopped, so I had to take an Uber over here. Like it's like if I respect people's time and vice versa, and it drives me crazy too. And it's like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I have a headache. Like really?
Yes, and that's exactly like I'm like, I don't take no.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm gonna reschedule. No, and I tell that to my new nanny. I was like, you can only cancel
Yeah.
if you're dying. Like that's the only time you can say I'm not going, Jessica.
Yeah.
I'm like, other than that, I'm super cool. Let me know if you want
Just
to take
give
a
you a
vacation.
notice.
2-week notice. Just let me know.
Yeah.
And I'll
Because then you're like,
arrange.
I'm not going to set anything
Yes,
going on.
but if you tell me in the morning I'm not going and I already have a day planned, no, that's the worst thing you can do to me.
Well, and then finding someone like we went back and forth with babysitters and all kinds of people
Yeah.
forever.
Uh-huh.
Because the thing is too, like this is what gets me mad is that they'll want the job, but then they won't even show up on the interview. So I'm like, okay, first impression, no, it's not even gonna work. So it's just very frustrating because it's like you're trying to manage everything, and I think the best way you can is when everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, because I feel like every job's important, but if someone drops the ball, then it just does a trickle effect with everyone else.
And I went through that with finding my nanny. She's amazing, but she's stuck in Juarez right now, so I don't have her.
Yeah.
So this whole quarantine is being such an adjustment
Yeah.
for me because I have my sister. Like it's been hard. Like still try to work and then still be at home because Julian was also taking online classes. So I guess I'm dealing with everything that any mom is dealing with,
Yeah.
plus the real estate side.
Well, and the real estate side's been crazy too. It's been super busy.
It's been pretty busy. And then Joe is on the lending side, so we just have crazy hours. And I'm actually glad that we're both in the industry.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't or if he was not in the industry, I think it would be super annoying that he's always on the phone or that I'm always on the phone or on the computer. And I think that's why, I don't know, it just had worked like perfectly because we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
And he's the same. Well, he rarely gets sick, but he won't miss. He won't cancel.
Yeah.
He won't reschedule. So on that, we're on the same page. And it's hard to find people that are like responsible.
Yeah.
responsible. And just overall like a good team member. I don't want to say employees because it's a team, but it's just hard. It's not that easy. It seems that I used to believe that I was just gonna put an ad or a request, I'm hiring, and I was just gonna get so many people that were ready to go work, and that was not the case. I will interview, and then I was like, I love her, like she's so good, and she wouldn't show up. And then another one, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's because I'm going back to school. Like, so I thought it was gonna be way easier to find people that actually want to work.
Yeah.
And apparently it's not. Like, it's not. It's impossible to find good, hardworking people.
Well, and then my thing is like with us too. Like, in fact, it just happened yesterday. We had one staff member that she just started, and she was like, "Oh well, I thought I was going to be doing this job." And with us, we have the mosquito business, we have like the insurance company, and then we're doing a bunch of different like marketing things and stuff. And so like my dad had said, what was the first thing I told you in the interview? And he was like that you have to multitask and you have to be open to everything that's going on, because in life it's not just like a straight like I'm gonna do this and my life's gonna work out. Yeah. And he's like, and this is the training and this is the training that you're gonna get. So I think a lot of times, especially now with the people that are graduating, I think school just teaches them, okay, if you study, then you're going to get an A. And it's very like one track. But in real life, shit doesn't work out like that.
No, I know. No, at all.
We're like, no.
Not at all. Not at all.
And I think you have to learn how to wear different hats, be a multitasker, especially now. There's just so many entities that go on in life now.
Yes, and then honestly, I've been learning everything the hard way.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like, my parents didn't have a business here or anything. Like, if I'm the first generation pretty much that
Yeah.
moved to the United States, that, you know, make money here. So I had to be learning everything the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, as I had been, like, going in life here,
Yeah.
I have been learning everything the hard way. So for everything, that's why now I'm like, now I'd rather ask you, like, what do I do? What do I do? What happens? Because I've been learning everything the hard way. That's the reality.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't say that. I never had an actual job. Like,
Yeah.
never, ever. I just got my real estate license, and this is pretty much my only
Yeah.
job that I have
That's
ever had.
hilarious.
That I ever had. Like, so it's not like I've been with a company or, you know, somewhere that you have a manager or
Yeah.
a schedule. Like, no,
Yeah.
never. Like, this was just my first job ever when I was 21, and I just have been learning everything as I go.
But you
pretty
know what?
much.
That's good because you started young and you were like hustling ever since then. So I think.
And I don't even think I was hustling. I was just like serving,
yeah.
serving, you know, the clients that I wouldn't even call it hustle because it's like, oh, I'm hustling. I don't know. I just, to me, it's like if somebody calls me, they want me to help you, then,
You're
you know,
like-
that's what I do. You know, I just
But
pick
you
up
have
the
a strong
phone.
work ethic too.
Yeah, I think that's probably
what
what
it is.
that's what it is. Like, if once I have somebody like that, you know, I just take care of them.
You do.
Period. I don't understand agents that don't answer their phone or people that just don't answer their phones.
Or
like,
don't have the voicemail set up.
no,
right.
at all. Like,
Or
I
they're
just
full.
or full.
Well, I'm like,
Or
it's easy. You just delete it. You don't even have to listen to all the messages. You go in there and
No,
delete all.
I just don't, because I'm like, well, how do they do it? Like, when do you plan to get back to somebody? Like, if
Yeah.
to me, I won't pass 2 hours to get back to you.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in a cruise, because that happened. Unless I'm in a cruise that I was not prepared to know that I didn't know
Yeah.
I was gonna have like no signal. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my God, like we
Like-
have no signal, like no reception for, like, no, until the next day that we get to the Bahamas. I'm like, oh my God, but I actually enjoy it. That was like the first time that I was
You were,
completely
like,
disconnected
Yeah.
from everything, and I love it. I
Yeah.
think I was like, but at the same time, I had that paranoia, like, what, somebody's called me, this, that,
Yeah.
and I'm just like not answering. So I just don't have it in me to not get back to people.
Yeah.
Like, even my friends too. Like, I just always try to check in on you, see how you are, just see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I just do it. I guess that's just me.
You
like,
are. You
yeah,
do.
like just me probably.
You're like, I touch base with everyone.
I touch base with everyone. Well, I try to.
You do.
You know, I try to, but yes, I also felt sometimes that you get so busy on a daily basis, and then all of a sudden it's like, a week passed by.
Yeah.
To me, it's like the days fly.
They do.
Every day,
It's
like, to me, it's like tomorrow. It's already.
We're already in July. I'm already
Yes,
like thinking
July,
Christmas and
and
everything. 'cause-
especially this year, it just feels like I lost like a month and a half with the lockdown. The first 5 weeks, I was actually just at home
Yeah.
with the baby, and I was just at home. I was not really even working for the first time.
Yeah.
I was kind of losing my mind. I was just a mom 24/7, and I was like, just take me back to work.
You're like, I need something to change
And
it
he's
up.
like, okay, yeah, please, Texas,
That's-
reopen. I
all
was
my-
going nuts.
That's what all my friends that are stay at home, I give it to them because
Yes.
I could
Oh
not.
my God.
I was going crazy too. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, oh my God.
I'm like,
No.
you're hungry again? I
Yes.
just cooked you 2 hours
Where's
ago.
that going?
Like a fucking like full course meal, and then it's like, I need a snack. What? And that's how I get the twitch. It's
Yeah.
like, and it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, like cleaning, and then it's like you clean the kitchen, then
No, I just felt like, I'm like, I quit. Like, I can't do this. I'm
I
like,
d-
I
I-
just,
yeah.
take me back to work, because I just, no, I like being at home, but if I were just a stay at home mom, I'll probably go crazy. And I tried that. I did that for like a year when Julian was little.
You
I was
did.
a stay-at-home mom. I was still going to school. Like, I always had been doing something.
Yeah.
Period. And at the time, I was just working out. My mentality was totally different. I can tell you that, because I had just moved to the States.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was just like, I don't want to work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to go work out, go to school, take care of my baby. That's it. That's all I wanted in life.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden things changed, and I just started working in it. Ever since, like, I just don't see myself that I just don't think I can ever stop doing something. Yeah.
Well, and I
Doing
feel
something.
like being a stay-at-home mom is the most selfless job.
Oh my God,
You don't
yes.
get like anyone that is a stay-at-home mom, like bravo to you, because honestly,
It's
you
a
don't
lot
get
of
the
work.
appreciation that you deserve. And like even me, I'm used to like going to lunch, doing those things,
yeah,
and you weren't able to do it. It's like
Nope.
I'm hungry, and no, my daughter's like screaming in my face, like, no,
No,
you're gonna feed
no,
me.
no. It's just super demanding. It's exhausting. I was just like, I'm hungry. Like, he will get like at 8:30. It's like time to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden he'll come downstairs like at 10. It's like, I just want something else, and I'm like, what you want?
You're
It's
like,
candy.
it's time for bread.
He's like, I'm just hungry, and I'm like, okay, just make him a sandwich, or then the baby, or whatnot. It was
doesn't
just like,
end.
no, it never ends. It never ends. To me, it was just like, I kept cleaning the kitchen, cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it. It was never clean. It's still not clean right now, especially with all the boys at home and Juliet. It's just like, no,
Yeah.
it's never ending. It's never ending. And I honestly, for a while, I was already like, just take me, like, please open
Yeah.
Texas back up so I can get back to work.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with cooking like 3
Yeah.
times a day. And if that's why you do it and you love it, awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah. me
I
too.
just don't. I'd much rather be selling houses because it's so much work.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, take me back to work. I was like, take me back to work.
So with everything going on, I mean, because Joe helps you out too. You guys have so many different businesses and like the mortgage side too. What advice would you have like moms that want to like start real estate?
My advice.
Yeah. Don't do it.
No,
No, I'm
definitely
just-
do it. I'm like, definitely do it. But yes, I think once you get into the industry, you do sacrifice sometimes maybe time with your babies. If you want to be really successful,
Yeah.
if you're okay with just, doing the average, then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if you have, big goals, I think at the end it's very hard to balance that family and business life. I think you can either do one or the other. Or maybe it's just me that my clients call me after 6, 7, 8, at all times. Somebody told me, it's like, you say that you're not gonna answer after 6. And I tried that for like a week, and I was like, no, like it just, like, I'm sorry, I'm in my house. I can answer after 6,
Yeah.
in my cell phone. So I just find that very hard. I think that there's people that make it work that way, especially if you probably are in the banking industry,
Yeah.
like Joe. Since they have banking hours, they can probably just put a stop. And
Yeah.
I actually don't see people bother Joe as much. It's just the realtors, but he's still working, getting prequels.
Yeah.
Or, just taking a loan up at the office. Like, you still work.
Yeah.
Because it just comes to you. Like, if it comes to you and you say, oh, no, Monday, but the client's back at work on Monday, then, it's just hard. It's like, well, after Monday after work. So you're still seeing clients at 6, 7.
Yeah.
So and especially us, like, we're showing houses after work or on people's days off or holidays when they are available. So you sacrifice that time. I'm like, yes, definitely do it, because I don't see myself doing anything else that gives you that flexibility of going to, the graduations, or if they have a sick day and I want to stay with Julian at home, I'm able to do that and, reschedule my clients even for a later time in the day. We can do that. So,
Yeah.
But you do sacrifice that time
And
with your kids.
you have to have an understanding spouse.
Oh,
too.
yes.
That's
That's
a
a
huge
must.
thing, because the thing is, if you don't have somebody that gets it.
No, that's a must. So I had that issue. And not with Joe. My previous marriage, it was hard because I was always on the go.
Yeah.
So we already had issues. I don't even want to talk about that, but I think that was just,
The icing on the cake.
yes, that made it worse because I was already making money, and as you'll find that probably some spouses don't like that, especially like me. Like I hadn't worked before that.
Yeah.
So I went from not working, no income, to actually making,
Yeah.
money and having a schedule and having my own things and my own meetings. And it was just like at the time, and he's a completely different person now.
Well, you
we're on
guys
good
were-
terms. We're on good terms.
Well, you guys were very young.
Yes.
You were only 21.
No, I was very young. He
'cause
wasn't young.
When did you get married? Like.
I was about to be 19. So I was 18
Yeah,
and 10
you were
months.
like- yeah,
Yes.
you
So
were a baby.
I was a baby. Yes, but he wasn't a baby. He's actually, 10 years, 11 years older than me. So he was already what, like 28, 29? So 29. I have always looked older though. And then he still looks younger. Or he has always looked younger than what, he truly is, his age. So
But men don't mature like Justin. I met him when he was 30.
No.
He's still.
guys
still
are
act
still
like a
40,
little
still
kid.
not mature.
Yeah.
Somehow we just, I don't know, like we got married and we had a blast for like 3 years, and then Julian came into our lives and that kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
And it was, at the time he was still very immature. I was too, I was only 21, 22. I thought I was ready for marriage.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I wasn't, so I thought.
Yeah.
So it was just completely different, and I started working. So at the end, we were just kind of grew apart.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is-
everyone you change
Yeah,
as you get older.
I
too.
changed. I thought I had already, like I was ready for marriage. I thought I was just, that's it. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I already travel. Like I always traveled with my parents. So I never felt like I was missing
And out of-
anything.
yeah.
And I'm like, I have my significant other, and I'm not just gonna, like, this is what's next.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but you haven't, like, I was still going to UTEP, school and whatnot. That was like, but that doesn't matter, like I can still do that and
Yeah.
have a family. And I guess I just always do everything like way before my years in everything. So somehow I just, we broke up. Obviously he was older. I was still 22
Yeah.
when we got divorced, and I already had Julian, so I was still super young.
Yeah.
And something about me is like, I'm not afraid of anything, like
Yeah.
at all. I just don't care. So I was like, it was like, but you're gonna be divorced. And I had even from my family, like
Yeah.
so many negative comments and opinions. And it's like, but you're gonna be divorced and you already have a kid. And I'm like,
And
I don't know. I guess I've always been a rebel too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
like, sure. Like, look around you. Like, I'm not gonna be the first, and I'm definitely not
great.
the last. And I'm like, I'm gonna be happy, and I'm not happy right now, and that's it. Like,
Well, and the crazy part is now you guys are all like, it's like the Modern Family.
right? Yes, but no. At the time, it was just so bad, and it was ugly for a long time. But I don't hold a grudge. And that's something about me. I just don't hold grudges
Yeah.
at all. Like, I'll move on in a year. I think that's my average. Like, in a year, I already, like,
You're
it doesn't
over it.
matter if I was hurting, like, so bad for, like, 2 months or whatever, if you really did me wrong. For all that people that probably did something, say something about me, no, I don't hold a grudge. I just don't. I don't know how, neither I care. I just like forget about it, move
Yeah.
on. Like I don't dwell on things. I'm like, whatever. Like
Yeah.
life to me has always been that I should probably get that tatted. Like
Yeah.
life's too short.
Yeah.
To me, so that has always been my mentality. Life's too short to be dwelling on that pity,
Yeah.
things and just drama. So I have been guilty of just going in circles sometimes in the same situation, but then that's just me. Like I give myself like a phase of like a month, 2 months, and then
You're like,
I'm done. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I move on, and I don't look back at all.
Yeah.
In anything. Like I just like move on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I just don't. But I don't do that. I don't do the drama. I'm like,
No,
just,
you're
once I'm
not.
done, it's like done.
You're like, sorry, I'm done.
So that happened, and then that's when I was just going into the real estate. So I just did everything.
Yeah. Well,
So
and how
quick.
was the transit? Because you had Julian like when you were super young, and then you had your baby. What's her name?
Julian
Yeah,
and Juliet.
Juliet. That's how I was like, it's not Julian, it's a J.
Julian and Juliet.
So how was that transition when you had the difference between like 7 years or 6 years? Actually.
6 years, so almost. Well, my sister and I were 6 years apart. So to me, that was like the max. It was like I don't want, like, if I don't have a baby within
Yeah.
the same gap, to me, I was just like, no, I'm probably not gonna have more babies. Period. And for, I think Julian was like 4. I was already like, I'm done. Like, I'm not having more. I don't care. And then somehow, and that's a long story, you know how Joe and I reconnected again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just we're both Pisces. So I think we just click
Yeah.
on a bunch of aspects, and we're very much alike
Yeah.
in so many things. Some of the things that we're completely different, but overall, I think we're very much alike. Or we almost have our birthdays like 3 days apart. So I think we're just very much alike.
Yeah.
So we're both easygoing. You know, we're just pretty much the same in a bunch of aspects. So we just click.
Yeah.
It was actually a lunch business meeting. They was trying to get me to send him business, and now I don't know how to say no. So if somebody tells me, hey, can we meet, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, unless I'm completely not interested whatsoever with those marketing companies from around town and state or something. But if somebody here approaches me, I always try to give them a chance.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm always looking forward to see what's out there.
Because you never
You
know.
know, I never know. You never know, so I'm always willing to learn too. So I was just like, okay, fine, let's have a lunch. I already had a lender that I had been using her for years. Like, she was my to-go. So I even say that over the phone, like, you know, look, like, I have somebody already. I'm not looking for anybody else, but it's like, no, like, let me show you, you know, let me show you what I do, whatever. And I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to lunch, and then he ended up being like, oh my God, I was like, he's so nice. Like, I really like him. Like, he was just so nice.
Yeah.
And we just clicked. And from there, I don't think we saw each other for like 2 weeks, because I ended up going to Dallas with an ERA convention. And then he went to Casas de Cristo in Juarez for like 2 weeks. He was building houses over there, so he didn't have reception. It was just like, we were like completely different phases in our lives. Then all of a sudden, he was like, well, let's have dinner. We went to have dinner. And then ever since, like, we just clicked. Like, we just keep in touch. We will talk on the phone for hours. Like, we were just dating. We were just talking on the phone for hours. And all of a sudden, he was just always at my house, or I was at his house. And then somehow we ended up always traveling too.
Yeah.
So it was just like, we just clicked. Like, once we met, we had a lunch, and then we went for a dinner. We just clicked, and we always keep in communication. So until one day, it's like, okay, well, I don't even think he ever told me. And I say that like years ago already.
You're like,
I'm
you
like,
guys
I
have a
don't
kid
think you
together,
ever told
everything.
me, like, I don't think you ever told me if I want to be your girlfriend. Like, what are we?
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
what are we?
A kid
Like,
later, you're
yeah.
still like, what are we?
Yeah, like, all of a sudden, like, I don't think he ever asked me. Like, and I told him one day, like, I was super pregnant. I'm like, I don't think you ever asked me, like, what are we? Like, do I even know you? Like, is this official? Like, I was super pregnant already. So somehow we were already in a relationship. And then when I got pregnant, we were already living together. It was just like so weird, because then with him, and I say that since the beginning, I don't know why, but I did ask him, like, and it's like, oh, how many kids you have? And like, I have 3, and then I have a boy, he's 7. I'm like, oh, it's like, do you want to have more? Because I did have in mind, like, if I find somebody, I want to have at least one more baby.
Yeah.
But it's weird, because I was like, I don't want more, but I did ask though. I just still like told him, like, are you open to the idea? Because his kids are already grown.
Yeah.
He only has a little one now, and the other one's already 18, 17. So I didn't think he was gonna be open to the idea of having more babies. But I asked him since the beginning, I'm like, and would you be open to having,
Yeah.
baby. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll have a football team if it was up to me. Yeah, because he's just good with kids. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like, he was open to the idea, never say no, or
Yeah.
he wasn't scared. Up until like this day, I can, if I want to, if we want to have another, if I want to have another one, he's down for it.
Oh my god.
If I wanted to probably have 2 more, he'll be down for it. Like,
Oh
he's
my
just
God.
such a good dad that he just loves that. Like,
Yeah.
he just loves kids. He just got the baby. She's, oh my gosh, she's
Obsessed.
too much. She's obsessed. Like, the moment he walks in, that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else exists. It's just like, daddy, and that's it. Forget about everybody else.
Oh.
So he will have way more. I would too. I would probably have 2 more.
You're cool.
But that's the thing. Like, the same as it is, I don't have time for the
Yeah.
ones I have, and you know, my work. So it would just be
It would be insane.
no.
Well,
No.
and I think the thing is with you both, though, is you both are really goal oriented. Like, he's got a bunch of different things that he's doing. You've got a bunch of different things. And
I guess,
think that's
and
why.
I blame it on that we're Pisces. We're with both of like doing so many things, and you know, just
But that's good,
going
though.
around.
It means you guys are goal oriented. You're not just stuck with one thing. So that's a good thing.
no, yeah, it is. And going back to the baby, is she's like right after that, I did say, okay, if I get pregnant, like now, fine. Like,
Yeah.
I had go for the other one. Now that she's a year or almost a year and a half, now I'm like,
You're
no,
like,
no, I don't know what I was thinking.
You know what I was telling somebody the other day? I'm like, having a baby is like a dog year. It sheds 8 years off your life. Because that newborn, from when you're pregnant to that newborn, all the doctor's appointments, and I'm not a doctor person. It's just like getting poked and pried, blood, this, that, and then checking, and then you get through with that, the hospital. Then it's that year of like no sleep, the breastfeeding, it's like, it's a bitch.
It's just hard. It just
So that
it's-
first
it's
year is
hard.
like, so after that, like I feel like once they start walking and they can eat food and they don't need formula, it gets easier in that sense. It's not easy, but it gets easier. But like that
like
first
now,
year.
like
yeah.
that now the baby
Yeah.
like this is perfect. Now at least she's sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
Sometimes if Joe was here, he'll say, no, she doesn't. I'm the one that wakes up. But to me, she's sleeping through the night. She probably is not.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think this is like the perfect stage. Like you're
Yeah.
already getting your sleep. You know, she's walking. At least she can say what she likes or doesn't like. Because if you give her something, she'll say,
Yeah.
like she
She'll throw it.
Yeah, she'll throw it. Like, you know a little bit of what she wants. Now I love this stage.
Yeah.
This
And
is like
Julian's
my favorite.
so sweet. Your son's so sweet with her.
Oh, he is the sweetest. He's so patient. He's so patient. He's
Where
so
did you get
nice.
that from?
Definitely not from me. Definitely not from me. And he tells me that, Mom, you're not patient. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But he
love
even
how he
tells
calls
me
you
that.
out.
He's like, Mom, you're not patient. You need to be patient. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then, yeah, I sit down and I'm like, yes, you're right.
You're like, I need to.
I
That's
need to be patient. I'm working on it. And I'm like, I'm working on it. It's like, yeah, Mom, you need to be patient.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
it's just,
I see him and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. Because Lucas is still an asshole with Nicole.
well, I guess the age difference. But Julian already knew that he was having a baby sister, and obviously nobody knows what to expect.
Yeah.
But he already knew, like, oh, I'm having a baby sister, and I'm like, you're gonna be a big brother. You're gonna have to look out for everything like that she does, or you're just gonna have to pretty much be in watching her all the time. And that's what he does. He's a very good big brother. And he actually told both of us, he's like, you should have another baby. You should have another baby. And I'm like, I'm like, oh
You're
my
getting the
God.
calculator out. Let's see how much
yeah.
everything
He's like,
is.
you should have another baby. And I'm like, he's just that big, good big bro.
Yeah.
He's just good. He's the sweetest. He's super sweet. He's really patient. He's really smart though.
Yeah.
So he's like a teenager though, and he's a 7-year-old but he's like a teenager, or maybe that's my fault because I have always talked to him like
Older.
he's
Yeah.
older. Like I just don't sugarcoat it. I always explain him everything because he will ask the weirdest things, and I just don't
honest.
sugarcoat it. I'm honest, and the same for the baby. It's like, so it's like, so then once the baby comes, so and like, where am I sleeping? And I'm like, well, in your room. Like, but if your baby's gonna sleep in your room, how come I not? You know, how come I can't sleep in your room? And like, because you're the big brother now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I mean, my baby too. Like, he just had to mature because he was my chiple.
Yeah.
He is. I want to say he is a mama's boy. Like, whatever he wants,
He gets.
he will get. Yeah, even as a grown up, I am already thinking like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know when I get to those high school years and whatnot. He'll have to earn it, you know, somehow. But I don't think I'm gonna say no. I don't think
You're
I'm
like, I
gonna
hope you
say
never do.
no.
Yeah.
No, he's obviously the firstborn, and she's just so sweet. I learned everything, and we've been through so much together. You know, when I had a breakup, he had the breakup. So I
Yeah.
just also think that he matures so much, and he's only 7 years old. That he's such a good brother.
Yeah.
He's very mature. He's just very mature for being a 7-year-old. Just the way he says things. The other way we're just talking is like, mom, and he would say that to me and Joe, and just, you know, he's just like kidding. He's like, why you guys are always working? So you guys work and then you guys make money, but you keep working and working and working. Why? Like, you guys are spending all the money you make? And it's just like common sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
he has common sense. It's like, yeah, mom, when I start making money, I'm not gonna spend all my money. Like, I'm just gonna spend a little bit so I can save my money, and I don't have to work and work and work and work all the time. So I'll do other things with my money. And I'm like, I'm like, good. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, So he just, the way he thinks.
Oh my God.
He's just smart. He's just smart, and he's cute. He's very good with the baby. So he actually makes me want to have another one because he helps me a lot. He helps me a lot with the baby. He's like, mom, the baby this, mom, the baby. He just helps me. When the baby was leaving, my Julian go get me a bottle. He will go run, get her a bottle, and like, Julian, go get me the puppy pillow when I was breastfeeding. Okay, mom, okay. And he would just go and do it, and he's like, oh, so you give milk to the baby from your boobies? I was like, yes. It's like, did I ever did that? And I'm like, no, you actually didn't like it. I'm like, oh, I know why I didn't like it.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, just the way he is, he's a trip. Sometimes he's a trip. He's just the cutest things.
Oh.
But he's so good. It's like, he was the one that made me think that it was easy to have kids, because he was just such a good baby, and he still is just such a good boy. And the baby, on the other hand, I think she's gonna be a wild one. She's a handful. She's too much.
So what's something that you want your kids to, that you hope that you show them?
One thing.
Or like, just what example are you wanting to show them? With all the craziness and everything that's going on, what do you want them to take from it all?
Oh my God. Like, I have probably so many things, but the biggest one, and it's probably what my parents told me, is they told me, like, we're not rich, you know.
Yeah.
We don't have a big business or anything that you're gonna inherit.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give you the best education that we can.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be what pretty much you get, like what you're gonna make of. So for me, it's the same. I think I'm trying to have my Julian in a good school, and the same I'm gonna do for the baby. So I'm just gonna try to give them the resources for them to grow up and be just a good person, you know, in whatever they decide to do, just for them to always remain humble, to have a good heart, and always just the best intentions for anything, for everything that they decide to do. I just hope that they're overall just like good human beings, good, and always make the right choices. But I'm worried more about their education and
Yeah.
and I'm not talking about just the, school and stuff. It's just life, how you handle yourself, what you do, what you don't, what you say, what you don't say.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing for my babies.
Yeah. And which way can somebody get a hold of you if they're wanting to buy a home or sell a home? What's your phone number? Or how do you want people to get a hold of you for that?
Well, they can just call me, DM me, direct message me,
You're
DM
like,
me.
I'm available
You can
everywhere.
DM me, yes. You already know that I'll get back to you in no more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
I usually have my phone on me all the time. So I'll get back to you. My phone number is 915-242-9097. Or just direct message me. Either or. I'll get back to you. That's not a problem. Like, I'll get back to you. Unless you're calling a different number, like a lady was doing this morning. She's like, I tried to call you so many times, and I'm like, I have not one
You're like,
missed
it
call.
yeah.
I'm like, I can screenshot you.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I was calling a different number. They just called me back. Like, if that happens to you, that's why you couldn't get a hold of me. Because other than that, I'm getting back at you pretty quick.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
Of course.
You know that I was like, no, please,
I know. And
don't.
you're great. I'm like,
I'm
you're
like,
great. I don't
please
know why
do
you were freaking out.
not. No. I was just like, no. This is probably my biggest fear, just having to talk in public.
You were great. You're great.
I hate it ever like since. So, thank you for having me. You are just great.
Oh, well, thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode.